Hey, welcome back to another edition of the Free Exchange of Ideas. I apologize for last week. I was actually out in Sacramento area working my other job as a private investigator and spent a couple of 14-hour days in the car, and it kind of wore me out. So I was exhausted by Friday and I just didn't get to you guys. I apologize. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I was bemoaning our loss to the Philadelphia Eagles and how poorly the game was officiated, in my opinion. Of course, I am a little bit of a homer, I admit it, but it is my opinion that up until Purdy got broke and we finished the game out with, Brock Purdy not being able to pass the ball, and so Philadelphia was able to really pretty much just put 7 in the box and just leave 2 up top. So, they were able to cover everything they needed to cover. Also, there's been a lot of weird crap going on, and I'm a little tired about it. So, I did want to give you guys an update though today. I contacted a constitutional attorney group, and I'm hoping they'll call me back soon and give me some good positive news that they're willing to do this. If that's so, then I'm going to start a GoFundMe. Well, actually, probably won't go with GoFundMe, because GoFundMe is very negative toward constitutional things, and so I'll probably go with the religious group. I don't call their name, but I'll let you guys know when it's ready to go. I will put that up, and I'll put it up every day I'll put a link to it every day that I do a video, so it's going to be right there. That being said, you already know how I feel about the Niner Philly game. Let's see, anything else good? Ukraine. There was a study done just recently where they discovered that for the most part, the battle lines have not moved through pretty much the entire war. It's been a year. Hard to believe it's been a year. Ukraine has lost 100,000 soldiers of a country that's 20 million people. I think it was 20 million, 20 or 200, I forget. No, it's got to be 20 million. They're tiny. 20 million people, they've lost 100,000 soldiers. Now, on the other hand, Russia has lost about 200,000 soldiers. The problem with this picture and with those numbers is that, like the Lakers versus, I don't know, a high school team, their bench is just so much deeper that 200,000 isn't a great loss to them as far as what they can field. They can still field a lot of equipment. They can still field a lot of men and women, even by conscription. Those people might bail, but a lot of them won't, because they're afraid of being shot in the back. Perfectly understandable. You try to find a way out, but it takes time, and in the meantime, you got to be doing your job, in essence. So, best of luck to Ukraine. I think that they are going to have a really, really short window to make things happen. And part of what I think they're going to need to do to make things happen is to start bringing the war to Russia, as opposed to just defending where they're at, which means a lot of covert and secret type missions into Russia. And that means by way of going around, so they're not going right through their own border and making it a little obvious. But where they're going to have to start, bringing the war to Russia's front door. As far as I can tell, Russia's civilians are not for the war. As much as they're getting poor information from their leadership, they still don't see a good cause in this war. Unlike Putin, who's, I think, blinded to everything else, and he wants the greatness of the USSR again. He won't get it because if he goes through Ukraine, that leaves Poland, Romania, and a couple other countries right there, not counting Germany and the Norwegian countries, open to attack as well. And if that's what he's actually trying to do, not just Ukraine, but to reunite the USSR, Poland will not be happy. Romania will not be happy. Romania is a very small country, so they don't have a lot going on. However, they're tight with Poland, and Poland is a big country that has a lot going on. Germany is there, and they got a lot going on. And I think if Russia continued through Ukraine into Poland, Germany would jump ugly with them, and that would get serious very quickly. And I think that would absolutely drag in the UN. I don't think Putin's worried about that so much. I don't know why, because I would be if I was in his shoes, unless he thinks China's going to jump in with him, which would mean China taking on Taiwan after. And I just heard a report this morning that the United States now has 4 new air bases in the Philippines. The Philippines' furthest island, I guess, the closest island to Taiwan is only 93 miles. That is a 2-second hop for an F-16 or an F-35 or multiple aircraft. I would expect them to, I expect the Air Force and possibly Navy to start dropping aircraft in there. I would also expect to see F-16s, F-15s, F-35s. If we have any 22 Raptors left, they'd probably be there. If you get 10 Raptors in there with 20 35s and a full complement of 16 and F-15 and F-16 fighters, you're probably in good shape. Navy would drop in, I know that aircraft and I can't recall it. I apologize. That's my fault. But they have aircraft that are fighter bombers and both able to land on land and land on an aircraft carrier. So they're hybrids in essence. They could tuck that tail hook and land on a standard airfield, or they can drop it and land on an aircraft carrier. And I would also expect to see at least a good portion of the 7th Fleet move in that direction, maybe do some maneuvers between the two islands, these are 2 island nations, I should say. We'll see what goes on from there. Somebody's going to jump ugly, and I'm not sure who it's going to be. China's already made a bunch of asshole moves, flying really close to a KC-135 that's not bright, banging into an aircraft, and both aircraft going down in the water. So there's some tension there. Taiwan is in